first tonight. On Friday, the new Congress will be sworn in. Then 2.5 weeks later, the new president will take office. It all promises dramatic change for the government and for the country.
In the middle of it will be Senator Susan Collins, who is often a key vote as one of the very few moderates in the closely divided Senate. As 207's Don Carrigan reports, she also will take on a new and important role with a lot of influence. Chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, which decides where the money goes.
To carefully reviewing budget requests.
Senator Collins will be the first Mainer in 92 years to hold that Appropriations Committee job, considered one of the most powerful in the whole U.S. Senate.
This position gives me the best opportunity to be the strongest possible advocate for the people of Maine.
As the leading minority party member on that committee for the past few years, Collins says she's worked with Democrats to bring a lot of money to Maine. But now, as committee chair, she might also be doing battle with the new administration of President Donald Trump and his budget advisor, Elon Musk. She has met with Musk, the senator says, but no details on any budget discussions. We talked about all of that and how Collins intends to handle demands from the new administration to potentially cut hundreds of billions of dollars from the budget.
I don't see where you would get that level of spending cuts, but I want to see specifically what they come forth with. I think they're going to find that it's much more difficult than they anticipate. The president has already said he doesn't want to cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid.
It occurred to me that roughly half the country is looking to you to protect them from huge budget cuts. The other half is cheering for huge budget cuts and wants you to kowtow to what President Trump wants, putting you right in the middle of it.
Well, I didn't say that my new responsibilities are going to be easy ones. This is long overdue, and I'm going to continue to try to build coalitions, which I always have done, and do the job that the people of Maine have entrusted me with.
Collins will also have to make difficult decisions and votes on President Trump's cabinet nominees, including some already controversial.
I want presidents to be successful and to have their own team. I do, however, take very seriously the advice and consent provisions of the Constitution, which vests in Congress the authority to review these important nominees. We had a good discussion.
The senator says she has already met with Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth, among others, but won't say if she intends to support him.
Do you think he's qualified, has the experience?
I'm going to wait until the hearing is finished on Mr. Hegseth to reach a decision on that. I did talk to him about his managerial experience. I talked to him about policy issues like Ukraine. The 2017 allegation against him did not result in police charges, but I'm sure will be looked at by the FBI as part of the background check.
The senator, of course, is still slammed by many Democrats for supporting Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court. He eventually voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, which he had suggested to Collins he would not do. She says judicial nominees can be tough to question.
Because you can't ask a judge to decide a case that's going to come before them.
But these cabinet nominees are different.
Right.
They don't have that problem. You can freely ask and expect an answer of what will you do about this if you've been hypercritical of something the FBI did, for example. Will you go in and chop off everybody to exert revenge?
And that is a specific question that I asked. I don't want to get into all the Q&A of a private conversation, But I specifically asked Kash Patel what his approach is going to be, because I want the FBI head, and I was a fan of Chris Wray's, but I want them to be impartial in their investigations.
As usual, Collins won't reveal support or opposition until after Senate hearings. She admits many other senators in both parties have already made up their minds.
Well, I think that there are those on both sides of the aisle that are rubber stamps, unfortunately. There are some individuals who are going to vote against President Trump's nominees just because they're President Trump's nominees. On the left, we'll see that. On the right, we'll see some who will vote for his nominees just because they're his nominees. And I don't think that's the right approach.
Senator Collins says that over the years, she has only voted against about a half dozen cabinet nominees. So what will happen this time? That answer will have to wait.
Senator Collins also had tough words about Russia and President Putin for their continuing attacks against Ukraine.
And she said last week's revelation that Russia may have cut off the feed of electricity from Finland to Estonia is, in her words, a huge cause for worry. You can hear the entire interview that Don had with Senator Collins. You'll find it on our new Center Maine Plus streaming channel.